Welcome to Livin Local, the official podcast of BlackHillsSuperFan.com, your online source for exclusive savings, giveaways, information, and fun in the Black Hills. This podcast, Livin Local, is part of that. Our program was made to help you get to know local business and community leaders in this marvelous place we live called the Black Hills. I'm your host, Brian Leslie, and today, we're Livin Local with Clay Crago, the chairman of the Black Hills Roundup Rodeo Committee. The Black Hills Roundup is getting ready for its 99th year in Belle Fourche. Well, Clay, thanks for spending some time with us today here to talk about the Black Hills Roundup, the 99th. Wow, can you believe that?
Boy, it's crazy. Think 99 years, coming on 100, it's huge.
If people are listening to the podcast, when it is released this week, the rodeo is going to be coming up this coming weekend. It's always the July 4th weekend, 5 days with the Ranch Rodeo and 4 rounds of PRCA Rodeo. And it's always an event for the Belle Fourche community, and they take a lot of pride in this, don't they?
Boy, they do, and they have for forever. You know, starting on, like you say, the Ranch Rodeo and Slack is on the 30th next Saturday. And the people that have come to the rodeo since they were kids, you know, and they're still coming now. It's crazy the amount of local support behind the Black Hills Roundup.
Now, I know last year in the 98th, there were some things that were done. They added a round for the PRCA, so it's now 4 rounds.
Right.
They also made it a qualifier for the big event in Salt Lake City for that $1 million purse out there.
Right.
And added a second night of fireworks. So are we still on track for that again this year in the 99th?
Boy, we are. We're excited to kind of stick with that four PRCA purse.
Sure.
And we were on the fence pretty good about it. And Justin Tupper, our chairman last year, he pushed it, and glad he did. It went over good, and we're gonna stick there. And then the same way with the 2 nights of fireworks, as most local people know, there was a little controversy, but we got through it, and it turned out great. And Fritz Carlson, he put on a heck of a show, and he guarantees us this one will be bigger.
Well, for folks that might be visiting the Black Hills, or if you live here, you've never been out here, it is South Dakota's best rodeo, best 4th of July parade, and best 4th of July fireworks, period.
That's right. You know, if anybody hasn't seen it, I invite you to come down and check it out. And the rodeo, the parade, everything, you know, and it's quite a show.
Yep. Now, how's it been for you this year? Your first year as chairman. This is there's a lot of gears to turn on this thing.
Yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed it, but it does keep a guy busy, you know, and lot of stuff that behind the scenes stuff that you thought you knew, but
right.
you know, kind of had to learn a little trial and error, but we're gonna get through it.
You know, I don't know if folks realize it, but you know, this isn't something that happens overnight. You guys begin planning this like way back in the middle of the winter.
We do, you know, we pretty much as soon as the rodeo's over in July, we take just a short break, and then we have a meeting and go from there. And then we go to Vegas in December and hire our specialty acts, and it's just pretty much Katie bar the door.
Yep.
For all year long.
Wow. And it takes a lot of volunteers. It takes a lot of community support from sponsors, and thousands of people get to witness this event every year. In fact, it got on the radar finally of the PRCA, and you guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame this year. I think that's a pretty cool feather in your cap.
You know, it is to have the committee, and the way I look at it is it's the Black Hills Roundup committee that got into the Hall of Fame, and it's not just the current committee. I mean, it's 99 years of blood, sweat, and tears of committee members and chairmans and putting this rodeo on, and it's a huge deal to us. And we're going to go down there in 1st August, and I think there's going to be like 40 of us going down, so it's going to be a fun time.
That's really an amazing accomplishment. And when you think about it, how many communities can say that they've done something for 99 years? That's a lot of tradition. That's a lot of dedication, like you said, from a lot of people.
It is, and you know, who knows over the years how many thousands of people come and gone from this deal, and have put their time and effort in it, and every one of them striving to make it a better rodeo for the next generation.
You bet.
And so that's where I'm at with it.
Now, Clay, I know that you ranch in the Belle Fourche area and this whole area out here of Wyoming and western South Dakota. You have how many generations of your family are from here?
Oh, there's 5 generations of us from here.
I knew there was a lot. I didn't know it was 5. That's amazing.
There's a lot of us, and we've been a ranching family for that long, and hopefully that many more.
Man, so this event has always been since probably. Do you remember your first time you came out here?
I don't remember when I was, but I remember when I was a kid. This is what you done over the 4th of July. I mean, sure, stuff's changed and progressed over the years, and I imagine my kids will think the same when they're my age. But change is always good,
Yep. Well, you come out to the Black Hills Roundup for your 4th of July, and it's just the way you spent the time.
It is. I mean, it's what you do. You come to the rodeo, go to the parade, go to the carnival, and you
watch the fireworks.
You do watch the fireworks. You get to visit with friends that you might not have seen since last 4th of July.
Sure.
And it's just kind of what everybody around here does.
And from generation to generation, I think the next generation has to pick up where the previous one left off, and as they become a part of it like you did, you have to pass that along to the next generation. And do you see that as being a strong sense, like you have had in your family, that it's going to be passed along to the next generation?
I do. My kids, they're all, getting up in their late teens and 20s, but they come down here and help us. I mean, I couldn't do it without my kids and my wife and my folks. I mean, supporting.
Yep.
I mean, the rodeo. They come down here and they know the rodeo, what to do. I mean, how to sort cattle, how to wherever I need them. They've been here
Sure.
for the last 10 years right along with me, and I can count on them to do it. And I look forward to them taking the reins when I'm done.
You bet. There's a lot of history on this rodeo ground. We're here underneath the new VIP structure that was just built this last year, and I'm looking out over the rodeo grounds and those historic grandstands and the rodeo arena, and I'm thinking about presidents have been out here, congressmen have been out here, celebrities have been out here, famous cowboys, famous horses have been in this arena. When you think about all that, that's pretty remarkable.
It is, it's the history of the rodeo grounds, and just this area, the whole area around here, the history of Old West cowboys, 1918 when the very first roundup was here. The cowboys that come to town, and I mean that's me. That's my heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just cool. And when the rodeo's over this year, we're gonna be tearing the old grandstands down, and it's kind of bittersweet to see them go just because of that amount of history, but it's time. They've served their purpose, and like I say, change is good.
Well, we'll talk some more about that here in a minute, but because I do want to touch on that. But focusing again on this year for just a minute, the Classic Rodeo has your 7 events, which people are probably familiar with. You've got your rough stock events and your timed events. But the one thing that I want to ask you about is something that's been kind of a project of yours, and that's the ranch rodeo. Folks might not be as familiar with what a ranch rodeo is and how ranch rodeos came to be, and particularly how they came to be part of this event.
This is our 9th one, and 9 years ago, I suppose it was. Well, I met with Scott Reeder and Gabby Bush and told them, I said, I'd like to have a ranch rodeo. I was a heck of a lot younger then, it seemed, but we were going to quite a few of them around the country, and I thought, we should have one during the Black Hills Roundup. So I met with them guys. I don't remember if Gabby or Scott was chairman, one of them, but I met with them, and we kind of got the ball rolling, and it's more of a rancher type event, I guess. It's kind of events you would do at the ranch, and from wild cow milking, and it's a little different twist to it than what you might do at home, but it's the same principle, and roping and doctoring and sorting cattle, and it's always kind of been my baby and probably always will be, and it's a pretty cool event. It's on the 30th, and free barbecue that night, and
yep.
So,
well, if you've never had a chance to see a ranch rodeo, that's the perfect time. And I think the one word to describe it is Western.
it is.
That seems to get the unpredictable nature of it. It's wild. It's you just don't know what's going to happen. I'm always amazed that there's just so much to look at, and when we do the video in the truck and put the video up on the board during the ranch rodeo, I can remember 2 years ago, the guys in just don't know where to point the camera. There's just too much going on.
There is, there's a lot happening out there, and the crowd, they love it, and the locals love it, and we try to put on the best. I try to keep it as much to the ranching way of life that you can, and still have a timed event,
Right.
So there's sure some variables there that you got to work around, but it's wild and Western.
Yep. Well, rodeo had its origins in ranch work. In its heritage, but ranch rodeo really does.
Right. The whole darn thing started from a couple cowboys daring each other to ride a bronc or dog a steer or whatever. That's how the whole darn rodeo started, and it just took off from there. And ranch rodeo's kind of right back to that
part of that
roots. Yeah,
it sure is. Well, you always have good contestants. I mean, the entries always come it's Cowboy Christmas. For folks that know a little bit about PRCA and about pro rodeo, there's a lot of events going on the 4th of July in the western states, and now even more so in the Midwest and the East, but particularly out west. And it's where a cowboy can make or break a season just about to get to the NFR, because you hit as many rodeos as you can on the 4th of July, and that's why they call it Cowboy Christmas, because if you do good, man, you're winning some money, right?
Right.
And Belle Fourche is right in the thick of that, and so you get a lot of good contestants.
Darn right. We this is right in on a lot of them circle, and them cowboys, they'll roll in here, get on a bronc, rope a steer, whatever, and I mean they're gone. They ain't got time to hang around, because like Brian said, they got to get to the next one and get as many rodeos as they can in that 4 or 5 day period to win as much as they can. To try to go to Las Vegas.
Yep, that's every cowboy's dream practically, to get to the NFR. It's one of the things that you spend all year doing.
Yes, sir.
That's your goal. So you got a great contestants and good event, but more than that, I think the sponsor support has been so good for you guys. It's just year in and year out. That's what's always amazed me.
It is, and the sponsors around this Belle Fourche and the tri-state area. I can't just say Belle Fourche.
Yeah.
They're amazing, because this is rodeo town around here, rodeo country, not just here, but the amount of support they put in to help put rodeos on, from the Black Hills Roundup, the high school rodeo that just got over last week right here in Belle, 4-H rodeos. Just the amount of support. It's amazing.
And over the years, and particularly probably the last 10 years too, the committee has really made an effort to put programs in place to give back. And that's what Shoots for Charity does. They've done such a fabulous job of giving back to the community, to some disadvantaged folks in the community that needed a little help, and some other projects. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
It is the Shoots for Charity. Like you said, I don't know 100%. Probably the last 10 years, I would assume.
Yeah.
But just the organization, they do fundraisers, like the golf tournament that's coming up on the 30th. They do it, and a couple different fundraisers to give back to people in need, whether it be cancer, an accident, whatever. And it's just amazing the amount of support that they give to people, and the group of ladies that put it on. They handle that. They're just outstanding.
Sure. Well, Clay, I know that you grew up in a ranching family and in the Belle Fourche area, and have been a part of this for as long as you can remember. This is your first year as the chairman, so I'm going to ask you about your biggest challenges and biggest rewards. So from your chair, what has been the biggest challenge that you've taken on here as the chairman of the event?
Probably my biggest challenge, and you'll probably get a chuckle out of it, is sitting behind this microphone. I'm more of a behind the scenes guy, get stuff done, and I've had
good answer. I'll take it.
I've had to kind of step up and work on my public relations. I had a little deal a while back, and I told them, the most public speaking I've ever done is out riding across the prairie talking to my horse or my dog, you know. And I've kind of had to come out of my box here.
There's still something good about that, though. I mean, it does prepare you, right?
Right.
They don't talk back as much as people do.
Yeah, and they always laugh at my jokes.
And that's encouraging, right?
Right, yeah.
But so a challenge is, you have to really be the public face of the event, don't you?
You do, you know, and I enjoy it. And like I say, I've had to come out of my box and kind of step up to the plate, and I enjoy doing it.
And, you know, after 99 years, you'd think we probably pretty well got it down. I mean, for the most part, people kind of know what to do, but you still got to be there to make sure all the boxes get checked.
You're exactly right.
There's so many details.
It's the committee and board we have. They do a lot, and it is pretty well down. But somebody has to make sure. Just make sure stuff's done, you know, and it's a lot of effort, and I've learned to send emails and stuff like that.
There you go. Welcome to the 21st century, right?
Exactly.
So what about the rewards? You know, there's got to be a time or two where at the end of the day, you know, you kind of went to bed thinking, man, this has been a good day, and this is why, you know, as chairman of the event, this is what really made me feel good.
You know, the rewards that I see from it are, like we'd said earlier, is when you go visit with a sponsor around town, and they're stepping up to the plate and helping us put the rodeo on, and like this VIP building that we're sitting under right here. Excuse me. We built it as the committee, you know, we come down here in the evenings for 2 or 3 evenings and built it, and that's where I see the rewards of everything, you know, and just seeing the board and the committee come together and make everything happen.
Sure. Well, we're going to take a quick break and come back with our speed round here on Livin Local. We're talking with Clay Crago, the chairman of the 99th Black Hills Roundup Rodeo. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back and maybe learn a little something about the rodeo that you might not know. So stay tuned. Hey, it's Brian Leslie here, founder of the Superfan Project. In 2017, and with a lot of help from an amazing team, we founded BlackHillsSuperfan.com for 2 reasons. First, to help support local businesses in our towns in a world where big retail and internet big box competition make it tough to survive. Second, we built it to deliver to you, our Superfan members, extraordinary value in the form of discounts and savings at these local businesses. But we wanted to go beyond coupons. Not only do we want you to save money, we want you to get to know business and community leaders. We want to deliver news, cool facts, and things about the beautiful Black Hills that maybe you didn't know, and that you can share with your friends and neighbors and family. Your $7 monthly membership helps support our efforts, and our goal is to deliver back to you 5 to 10 times that amount in savings. And remember, unlike other deal sites, with BlackHillsSuperfan.com, when you make a purchase at a local business, 100% of that money goes to that business. It stays in the local community. That's what helps make us unique and helps your spending power have more impact right here in town. So if you haven't subscribed yet, head to BlackHillsSuperfan.com and click on the sign up button today. We'd love to have you. Thank you. And as we like to say, we love living local. And welcome back to Livin Local, the official podcast of BlackHillsSuperfan.com. And today, we're at the beautiful Roundup grounds in Belle Fourche, South Dakota, under the new VIP structure that was built for this year's rodeo, the 99th edition of the Black Hills Roundup. And we're with Clay Crago, the chairman, his first time as chairman, actually. And Clay, it's time for our speed round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Bring it on. First question is, what is something about the Black Hills Roundup that people might not know?
You know, something that people might not know is that we got a pretty dang small executive committee of 7 of us, and the actual committee, all volunteer. There's about 50 of us that put the whole dang thing
50.
on. Yeah.
50 people.
Yeah.
You got to wrangle 50 folks.
Yes, sir.
At meetings every other week, every month, something. That's a lot of folks to keep track of.
It is, but you know, for 99 years, they know their spot, and pretty much just everybody does their thing.
Wow. So is there anything that you've done personally yourself in order to keep track of everything this year? Do you carry a notebook now? Do you put stuff on your phone that you never used to?
I do. Like I said earlier, technology. I've kind of had to step up and start using it. I got a briefcase, a notebook, and then my iPhone. I use it for everything now.
Sure.
And yeah.
You bet. Well, now, one of the last questions that I always ask during our podcast is, where do you see your business or your venture in 5 years? But I want to drill that down to like 1 year, because this, as we said, was the 99th year. Next year is the 100th year for the Black Hills Roundup. And you already touched on it earlier, but as soon as July 5th hits in 2018, the grandstands on the south side, the historic grandstands, come down, and place is going to get a facelift. So the 100th is coming up next year. Wow.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's kind of bittersweet, the amount of history that's in them old grandstands behind me there, but it's time, and yeah, it's going to be huge. They're going to, as soon as the rodeo's over, start demolition on them, I guess, and they'll kind of tie right in with the west grandstands here and look real similar to them. But the cool part of it, coming around on the east end of the arena, there's going to be like 4 or 5 big VIP boxes up there that, for our sponsors or whatever we might think that they're good for. But
my goodness,
but it's going to be a pretty awesome facelift.
So as the Roundup kicks off its second century next year, what's in store?
Oh,
or can you even tell us?
Oh, I can tell, but we're next year's going to be huge. We got One Arm Bandit coming, and we're working on having it kind of like it would have been 100 years ago. More. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but
a little more historic.
Historic look to it of having Indians doing. Kind of their dances like they might have done, powwow type of thing. And we're going to have stagecoach races, and it's going to be a pretty wild and western week next year.
People might forget or have not realized the Native American influence that the event had back in the early 19s, 1918 and 1920.
Right. Yeah.
And there was that.
It was. I mean, of course, when I think of it, I see them old panoramic pictures that you'll see around.
Yes, you can see them in the museum.
They're all in front of the old grandstands, and I mean, you got cowboys, soldiers, Native Americans. I mean, they're all up there getting their picture taken, and that's the way I want to try to get to the 100th next year, and we're going to get as close as we can.
As close as you can to Throwback Thursday at the Yankees game, right?
That's right.
Bring out the old uniforms and all that
Right.
stuff. I think that's awesome. I really think that the history is so colorful, and to pay tribute to that, I think is so appropriate for the 100th edition.
Right.
So, but I know we got the 99th to come, and it's going to be a lot. 2 nights of fireworks this year again.
Right.
It's going to be great. 4 rounds of PRCA rodeo. You've got the ranch rodeo. You've got specialty acts. I know we didn't talk about those, but you've got some high-flying stuff coming back.
Oh, yeah, like kind of backed by popular demand is a Cowboy Kenny. And I told Brian earlier that when they told me that we hired a motorcycle act year ago or whatever it was, I'm like, we don't need no dang motorcycle act. It's a rodeo, But if anybody didn't make it out to see him last year, you better come watch him this year, because it is pretty dang cool. And then Dana Bowman skydiving into the arena with the American flag. I mean, and just his story alone it's crazy. And then Dennis Halstead, he'll be back. I think it's been 5-6 years since he's been here, but he's always good.
Yep, the Barrel Man will be back
Right.
in force with all of that fun stuff that he does.
Right.
Chad will be back on the microphone again this year. That'll be nice.
Yeah, Chad.
You've got Powder River Rodeo coming in with their and Northcutt, is it? Or who else is coming?
Northcutt from Canada again.
Yep.
They'll be here.
Yep.
Yeah, Franklin.
So-
And, it's just, and I think Chad's been here 17, 18 years.
so.
And Powder River, this is their 30th year with the Black Hills Roundup. So
That is amazing.
That's huge,
Yep,
And,
I know.
and
Hank and Lori do such a great job, though.
they do, and the stock they have is just outstanding, and they're great to work with.
Yep. Well, congratulations, Clay, on bringing the 99th together, and it's going to be awesome. And I know if people are listening to this in August or September, it will have already gone by, but I know that you're looking forward to 100. But what a great event this is for the community of Belle Fourche, and it's a part of the community's heritage, and it always will be.
That's right. I hope another 100 years it'll still be here.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, and it's just like you say, it's part of the heritage of Belle Fourche and the tri-state area here.
Well, thanks, Clay, for your time.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, and one more thing before we go. Just a word about how BlackHillsSuperFan.com is even more unique. When you sign up, your $7 monthly membership is converted into official Superfan credits. 28 credits for $7. And you can use these in many ways, including unlocking discount deals at local businesses and entering to win monthly prize drawings. So check it out today at BlackHillsSuperFan.com, where we love living local. And one more thing I'd invite you to do if you wouldn't mind. Head over to iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us an honest review. Let us know what you think about living local. We appreciate your time and thank you for listening.